This will be my last six-figure portfolio update of 2025 before we get geared up and ready for the next year. And firstly, before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you to everybody for their support this year, for liking, for commenting, subscribing and following the journey that I've been on. Below me, there'll be two QR codes, and both of those QR codes, one will take you to the Discord server, so where we've built a community of 500 investors, of really smart people, and we talk about stuff and we learn stuff every day. And the other one will be for a Just Giving link, which is supporting homeless families at Christmas. So yeah, it's going to a good cause, so be sure to donate something there. And if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's get into it. This year was absolutely phenomenal for the stocks and shares ISA. We're up 216%. That's £68,380. Now, this is just the ISA. We have the invest account as well, which we will touch on after. But most of my stocks are a breakdown of growth stocks and slightly into ETFs. Earlier in the year, I made the decision to come away from dividend stocks, and I wanted to be more focused on growth stocks because the potential this year has been absolutely phenomenal. There's just been so many opportunities. So let's break it down and let's have a look at the growth stocks. Now, the first stock that most of you know and you've seen this year has been phenomenal for this one. Not only did I get to interview 3 people on the team, it's been a crazy year for Ondas. Ondas we started talking about in the server when it was about 170. No, so it first got spoke about when it was 79 cents a share, but I started picking it up about 179. As you can see, the average on this is 480. So I did average up because I was buying on the way up and on the way down. And in the ISA, we hold 8,000 shares. Now, I obviously held a little more than this, but I decided recently when it hit 850 and 9, those two ranges, to offload just a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a little bit to free up a little bit of cash. I think it was like 1,000 shares or something, nothing crazy. So that way now we've got 8,700 in cash, as you can see there. That was a bit more for risk management. I was well too deep into one stock. Naturally, as I was building this position, I love this stock. I'm going to hold this one for a long time. This year, they've done tons of acquisitions, like nearly 10. You'll be able to see my videos, which I'll put on the screen now and link in the description. We've been following this stock all year. It's just gearing up for an absolute phenomenal 26, in my opinion. My personal PT on this was between 8 and 10 by year end. We're sitting at nearly 9 nearly at year end. And my PT for this going at the end of 26 is looking around 20 a share. Now, obviously, things are subject to change, but I think we're going to get there really fast. Revenue's improving. We're supposed to be profitable by end of year. That's what they're aiming for. The guidance is absolutely phenomenal. This stock's been a winner for me. We spend a lot of time touching on this one in a Discord. I spend a lot of time on the trading 2-on-2 community, and I spend a lot of time talking about this one. I've been breaking this down for months now. So yeah, Ondas is absolutely a phenomenal stock, and that's the first one in the growth pie. Now the next stock, what a journey this one's been this year. Nebius. So I first started picking up Nebius at 20 a share, and I did a couple of videos on this earlier in the year, which I'll also post on the screen. Now, I did my full breakdown and analysis on this, and I really deep dived into Nebius. I liked what it was about. I liked what it stood for as the data center player that people were overlooking. And yeah, it was very cheap in my opinion. Now, I had it at a bull case of $83.99 by year end. Now, obviously, nobody factored in that Microsoft deal that was coming, and obviously that was a big deal. But yeah, $83.99 is what I had the PT at the end of 25, and yes, we're higher than that. So, but I was close enough, and I know that when I was talking about this stock, I had real conviction in it. So yeah, I started at 20, but we averaged up to 57.14. I was buying this all the way up into the 90s, and I've built out a nice position of 279.5 shares. I'll probably round that off after this video, well, Monday. So yeah, it's been an absolute wild journey for this one, and I think again this one's just gearing up for takeoff next year. My PT for this one personally next year is about 200 mark. I don't actually know if a place where I'd be taking this off the table. I'll probably take some off at 200. I just think it's got so much more to grow into. We've got a lot of the greenfield sites that they're doing this year. They've just opened their London facility. They've just opened their Israel facility. There's just a lot going on with Nebius. It's so ahead of the curve. Great stock. Seen a bit of a pullback over the last couple of weeks, etc. So it did reach the highs of 134. But again, this was one that I see so much more conviction in, and it's above my PT for the end of where I wanted it to be at the end of this year. So yeah, we're up 71%. So we're up a total of £8,500 at the moment. Absolute great stock. And that's the next one in the growth pie. Now the next one is SoFi. Now this is a great example of why I believe that dollar cost averaging is a great term to use when investing, in my opinion. I first got into SoFi earlier in the year at roughly about the price of 18, and then DeepSeek came out and it plummeted a lot. The whole market did. We've seen a huge pullback, and then around the April time we started seeing lows of 8 and stuff like that for SoFi. Now I took full advantage of that dip. SoFi was just killing it every quarter. It just seems that their quarterly results came out at just the wrong time for news in the market, and yeah, it was suppressed a lot. So I started buying this up hugely. I did have 800 shares of this at one point. We averaged down to 1338. So I did sell about 200 shares at 20, I think it was. I took some off the table there. I was happy with that. I wanted to take some off. Now my PT for SoFi is 35. I will probably half this position at 35, let the rest run to, we'll see where we're at then. I do think eventually SoFi will get S&P 500 inclusion, in my opinion, again, of course. But yeah, so they didn't get it yesterday, which was the new rebalance. But I do think in the near future, these guys do see it. Maybe first quarter, Q1, Q2-ish. But yeah, they're a phenomenal stock. NATO does an absolute, probably saying his name was probably NATO or something. We'll always get some of the same people's names wrong. But yeah, he does a phenomenal job at the helm of this stock. So we've just had another dilution for 1.5 billion. Not really something that concerns me too much. We've seen it drop to 27.49 from, I think we had highs of 30, 29.74-ish on the 24th of November. So yeah, nothing for me to worry about. I think this stock's phenomenal. And yeah, and like I say, we're up 99.72%, which is 6,100. So again, great returns this year on all the stocks that I've been picking myself. And like I say, my portfolio has been absolutely flying. So I've been really happy with it. So that's the next one in the growth pie. So the next one is PayPal. I personally think PayPal is massively undervalued. My opinion, of course, I've been building out a nice position of this. I've been lapping up the dips. So they've not long released that they've got a partnership now with ChatGPT for doing their shop. PayPal are doing integrating crypto again next year. Apologies. And their B2B links, etc. I just think there's a lot going on at PayPal. Again, we've seen a bit of a drop. This is my only stock, actually, that's in the red at the moment in the stocks and shares ISA. But yeah, so we're down 7.46% at the moment. But my PT on this is like 120 for next year. Again, my own opinion. Holding 171 shares. So very good position I hold here. Will I build out some more? I'm not sure. 180 shares would be nice just to round it off. So we'll see. We'll see how the market keeps playing out. But yeah, 67 average. So yeah, great stock. I've got I think it's going to do really well in the future. I really like PayPal. It's been around forever. So yeah, that's the next one in the portfolio. So a quick one from today's sponsor, investing.com. Now, investing.com have got over 33 million users, and this stock is used for its features on the stock market daily by a lot of people, and they've been kindly enough to partnership with me to give you guys an absolute bargain. On Investing Pro, which is their pro service, you've got the watch list where you can see all of your stocks that you import, which is most of mine here. So as you can see, some are overvalued, some are fair, some are undervalued, some are classed as a bargain. If you want to go into these stocks into more details, you click in, you can have the news, earnings, you can have the DCF models, the finances, you can have the health of the stocks. And on top of that as well, there is ideas, so you can track people like Warren Buffett, people like ARK, and you get to learn everything about their stocks and what they hold, and it's live and it's updated straight from their SEC filing. So you've got everything right in one place from the 13Fs. You've also got amazing screeners, so you can find new stocks if you're looking if you're trading or investing. We've got the charts, and there's amazing chart work inside of here. And they've got a brilliant thing called Warren AI, which is a little bit like ChatGPT, but you can type in the charts, so you can click on the charts directly. It will read the charts and give you an in-depth explanation. If you are interested in getting involved in this, they've got a massive Black Friday sale at the moment, which is 60% off. And with my link in the description or my affiliate link, you get an additional 15% off. So go grab yourself a bargain while it's available, because I'll be using this a lot for my analysis going forward. Now, the last stock in the growth pie position on this portfolio is AST Space Mobile. Now, this stock is absolutely phenomenal. Now, we did have 100 shares of this, I think, or maybe around that mark, and I have half that position to 50 at the moment. Now, this was something that I planned to hold till 2028 and not move it, but when we seen a run up to 100, just absolute no-brainer. This stock was running far too hot, far too fast, And I could see that because I know that my PT for this stock for 2028 is between 150 and 200. I think this stock's going to absolutely fly. But right now, it's so volatile. You can see the up and down, the up and down. Me personally, I think it's still running a little high. My own opinion. I'm holding the 50 shares nonetheless. They're not going anywhere. We're up 67.7%, which is just over $1,000. So yeah, I think this stock's great, and I think it does trade a lot like Tesla, so it's trading on future news. Just do think it's a little overpriced right now, and if it does drop back down, I'll obviously accumulate a lot more shares. Yes, I think it's going to be a lot higher in 2 years' time, but that's in 2 years' time. It's not even making any revenue at the moment. So yeah, that is the last stock in the growth pie on this portfolio. Now let's have a look at the ETFs before we have a look at the investor account. Now inside this ETF pie, I have two that I hold. It's an S&P 500, which is a distribution version, and I also have an all world, which we'll touch on in a second. So what I do with this is I literally just put £100 into the pie every Friday or every 2 weeks. There's no, like to say, I don't touch it. Last year I sold these positions when SoFi was dropping a lot, and that was because I didn't have cash on hand. That's why I always like to keep a bit of cash on hand in the portfolio. So yeah, 17.77% that we're up in the S&P 500 in this pie. So I, like I say, I just do it every Friday. I do not look at the price. This will be the first time I'm actually properly looking at it whilst doing this review, because I don't care. I'm just holding this for 10, 20 years. So today and tomorrow's price don't really matter. I will obviously evaluate it at a time. I probably should look at it more than I do, but I just don't. Again, a lot of pensions, etc., are in the S&P 500 and track the same type of funds. So even when we all go to work, we all invest in this type of stuff. So yeah, we're up 17.77%, which is up £394 in the S&P 500. And in the Invesco All World one, we're also up 14.22%, which is £139.45. So again, like I say, you can just see I just buy in every Friday. I do not care about the price. And they're the two ETFs. Now, this does make me well overweight in the US stocks. I am fully aware of that. I want that exposure. But I also wanted some exposure to the all world as well, which is why I track both of them. I think some people overcomplicate it by having far too many ETFs, in my opinion. But yeah, I think two is good, and they're the two that I'm happy with. So let's touch on the investor account and see what's going on over there. So the investor account was something that I wanted to do with a bit more speculative stocks and just have a little bit of fun. Now inside here we had Ondas and we had Hive. Now we just have Hive. So like I say, I took a bit of my positions off the table with Ondas just to de-risk my exposure to it a little bit. So we've got nearly £7,000 worth of cash just sitting in there. I'm in no rush to spend it. April is literally a couple of months away, so I've already saved up my deposit to max out my ISA when that comes, but this helps as well, I guess. So the stock that we are tracking in here is Hive, but in 3 months we are up 27.6%, which is £2,500. Again, a lot of money to be making in such a small amount of time. So with Hive, I am currently down 18.02%, but this is a stock that I think is phenomenal. Now, I bought into Hive at about $5.80 a share. So as you can see, I've averaged down a lot. Now, this stock currently is a bit mining / data center play. They are building out into data centers more and more, but it is a process. Now, in regards to Bitcoin, they absolutely kill it in that field. So obviously, with Bitcoin coming down significantly, naturally the stock did. I lapped up that. Now we've got JP Morgan saying that they think Bitcoin's going to 220k a coin. We've got Tom Lee doing the exact same thing. People are very, very bullish on Bitcoin. Now, if that's the case, these bit miners are going to benefit a lot from that. They're going to rise straight back up. So I've been accumulating a lot of shares. I've got 2,700. We'll probably get another couple thousand if we, depending on how we fluctuate in price. Not trying to put all my eggs in one basket with this one, but I'm really happy with this position. And I have no doubt within the next 12 months, if Bitcoin starts going on a run again, this stock's going to really benefit. And obviously, not only that, they are really building out their data centers and stuff. So it's a double win. This stock has a lot of potential. And yeah, I will be doing a breakdown video on this soon to give some more information on why I actually like this stock, because it's not one that I've talked about much. So yeah, that there is the portfolio video between the two. So between the two, we've got 13.2. And we've got ourselves 109. So, you know what I mean, we're above 120,000 in the portfolio. I think it's been an absolute crazy year, and I've loved every moment of it, and I've loved all the support. So thank you very much. If you did enjoy this video, leave me a comment. Let me know the stocks that you guys are investing in. Let me know what your plans are. And yeah, don't forget to the QR codes if you do want to donate to the charity or if you want to join the Discord. And I appreciate all the support. And I'll see you in the next one.